Good morning, and thank you for tuning into the Stuff I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Peak. I don't know why I say good morning. I guess because it's morning for me. It is this weird thing where we have this social media outreach and we have this ability to reach each other. And there's times where I guess I don't think about the fact that some people listen to this during the day and some people listen to it at night. But yeah, so good morning, wherever you're at. It's morning somewhere, right? Just like they say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So yeah, I am having a little bit of coffee this morning. It's Sunday the 21st, my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Brandy. And yeah, I've uh I've listened to some things and watched some things, and I have some things I want to talk about. This is the Stuff I Heard podcast. So right into it. Um we have the finale, season 4 of Westworld on HBO. And I talked a bit about Westworld in previous episodes, but this was the final episode of season 4. They've teased at a final season, season 5, um, and I'm just infinitely impressed with the way the story goes. And I know in the past I've sort of talked about Michael Crichton and his writing ability and stuff like that, but I kind of want to give you a rundown here. On When I Google it, it says Westworld isn't your typical amusement park. Intended for rich vacationers, the futuristic park, which looks like, which is looked after by robotic hosts, allow its visitors to live out their fantasies through artificial consciousness. No matter how illicit the fantasy may be, there are no consequences for the park's guests, allowing for any wish to be indulged. Westworld is based on 1973 Michael Crichton movie of the same name and features an all-star cast. So this is no different. There's a lot of characters that are, you feel like they're the bad guy or the good guy. And they even play this down to the narrative of whenever you enter Westworld, you choose um, like an all black hat or an all black outfit or shoes versus an all white hat, an all white outfit, and all white shoes. And some of the characters change over time. And it's a simple little hint at where the character is going as to what they're wearing or what they're doing. Um, Season 4 is phenomenal. I am impressed from top to bottom. I really wasn't sure where they were going with the storyline with the main character, Dolores Abernathy, which is Avon Rachel Woods. Jeffrey Wright still impresses me no matter what. Ed Harris, holy cow, what a juggernaut of an actor. Thawandi Newton, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, as Maeve, very impressive. James Marsden, I was kind of happy to see James Marsden in this. In the past, he's sort of been a somewhat laughable character in the way that he's been mistreated, but he was a welcome, sort of like a warm blanket in this season. Tessa Thompson sort of emerged as the bad guy in this season, and she's the kind of person that you really dislike, almost like Negan was in The Walking Dead. But there's a moment where she, as an android, chooses to remove elements of herself and expose her robot self. And the moment was really well. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm just saying, really good, really fantastic. The acting, the way they showed the imaginary world of this, um, just phenomenal. I hope that I hope that other people making films will look at this in the future and go, God, what they were doing then is just incredible, because it is. It's incredible. If anybody's watching this show, I highly recommend fast forwarding the credits to watch the portion at the end where they show you a little behind the scenes, and they also talk to the directors and producers and some of the actors of the show to kind of get some in-depth reasoning for what you're seeing, and they'll explain a little more. It's just a phenomenal show, though. All right, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Go check it out. Um, it's one of my favorite shows. Um, so She-Hulk came out this past week on Disney Plus. Now I know everybody's like, "Oh God, another female version of everything." Well, yeah, that's how this works. That's that's kind of the reality that this world is run by men and women, and they have a story too. duh. So I didn't know when She-Hulk became a thing. I looked it up on Wikipedia. Apparently, She-Hulk first graced the cover of a comic book, The Savage She-Hulk, written by Stan Lee and John Buscema in February of 1980. Um, it's the character's name is Jennifer Walters. She's supposed to be Bruce Banner's cousin. Through Wikipedia, it says that she becomes a Hulk after an accident in which she needs a blood transfusion, and apparently Bruce is the only one that's a match, and then she somehow gets a version of his Hulk powers. Unlike him, apparently she has the ability to retain her personality even in Hulk mode, and her intelligence and control her emotions. Um, she, from my understanding, she's one of the first comic book characters to break the fourth wall and look at the reader on the comics and talk to the reader, like to tell you her thoughts, or to just say, "Can you believe this guy?" Just that little wink at the reader, going, "I'm in this story and this is really amazing," but also, you know, that little nod. So apparently She-Hulk was the beginning of this. I don't know if it was Stan Lee or John who thought of this, but this was apparently the first character to do that. And so from there, a lot of TV shows and movies and everything else has kind of taken a nod from that. And they've made it humorous. The show on Disney Plus is really fantastic. It doesn't completely follow along with what the comic origin story is, but that's fine. Um, I enjoyed it. I had a really fun time watching it. I laughed out loud a lot. On here, on the Google page, it says for the show, Jennifer Walters has a complicated life as a single 30-something attorney who also happens to be a green 6'7" superpowered Hulk. And it's great. Tatiana Maslany. I got to learn to pronounce that right. Tatiana Maslany, because I'm going to talk about her a lot. She's fantastic in this. I was super impressed with her acting chops. It's kind of weird that there's a lady listed second in the cast, Jameel Jamil, Jameela, Jamila Jamil, Jamil, plays a character called Tatiana. So it's kind of weird they got Tatiana twice in there. Whatever, it is what it is. Jamila, I know from the Good Place, clever little TV show with Kristen Bell and whatchamacallit. So Tatiana Maslany, She-Hulk, she was in Orphan Black. I haven't seen Orphan Black. I've seen previews, I've seen snippets, but I haven't watched it. But I clicked on her, and she's been in all sorts of things. I mean, she is just her catalog is incredible. I didn't know she was in Parks and Rec. Um, I watched Parks and Rec from top to bottom, and yeah, I was really amazed that she was in that. But yeah, clicking on her IMDb, she's been in tons and tons and tons of things. But yeah, she's great as She-Hulk. They made the character funny. They made her interactions with Bruce Banner. He's in it, Mark Ruffalo. They made their interactions really familiar and family-like and funny. They tease each other. They get in a fight with each other. He's trying to teach her, but she doesn't want to listen, and they sort of mess with each other a lot. And there's an ongoing joke in there about Steve Rogers being Captain America, and she's constantly, asking him questions because she's infatuated with Steve Rogers. One of the things she's warning her about is he's out there saving the world. He's never had a girlfriend, like never, never. Think about it. He died saving the world several times, and he's never even had sex. And so she just seems obsessed with it, and it's just one of the comedy aspects of the show that makes it so funny. So anyway, the episodes are like 28 minutes long. They're really fun to go through. I mean, I've only seen one episode so far. It came out on Thursday. I don't know if they're going to stick with the Thursday showing of it, but I really enjoyed it. And there's of course, it's Marvel, so they've got a little cutaway scene at the end where there's another added joke. It's pretty good. So got to check that out. And everybody is in this is really fun to watch. But specifically, She-Hulk and Hulk interacting together is some of the best, funniest stuff I've seen in a long time. So yeah, go check it out. All right. Um, and then here's a here's a little thing. Last night, I'm messing around with my Fire Stick just to see what's available that's out there. And Top Gun Maverick is available to watch if you know the right way to do it. And it's good, pretty good movie quality. The only thing about watching it the way I did is I had Korean subtitles at the bottom, but that's fine. That's whatever, you know. Top to bottom, great movie. I wanted to not enjoy it. I know in a weird way, sort of like, you know, the big popular thing is, oh my God, everybody gotta see this. And in some weird way, I'm just like, no, I don't have to because I don't want to. I know my mom called me after my stepdad had gone to see it, and she's like, "Oh my God, you got to go see this movie. It's so great. You're just going to totally enjoy it." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm going to pass." Because I mean, Top Gun came out, and I liked it, but I wasn't like I got to watch this 1,000 times now, which some people were. Being in the Marine Corps, I had talked to people who said that whenever that movie came out, that recruitment went through the roof. These pro-military movies where they do fantastic things apparently are good tools to help with recruiting. So that's one of the little unknown and untalked about things about movie making stuff about wartime. If there's ever a good patriotic story, lots of people want to be part of that story. They want to put themselves in that story, literally. So, you know, after the Top Gun movie, apparently recruitment into the Top Gun program was through the roof. So, this story, read you the little IMDb thing here on Google. It says, after more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top aviators, Pete Maverick Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. Training a detachment of graduates for a special assignment, Maverick must confront the ghosts of his past and deepen his fears, culminating in a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice from those who choose to fly it. Pretty awesome little bio thing there, right? So right away, I knew even before watching this that it was going to have something to do with his relationships with Val Kilmer's character Iceman and Anthony Edwards' character Goose, because Goose was his wingman and Goose died in the first movie. Spoiler if you haven't seen it 30 years ago, but Goose dies in the first movie, and this is supposed to have his son in it. The actor is Miles Teller. He's playing a character they call Rooster, and Rooster's a talented pilot. And you know, he has sort of a parental fear about Rooster becoming like his dad. He doesn't want this kid to die. He's, you know, Goose was his best friend, and he makes a comment in there that he promised his mother that he would protect him, and you know, whenever he sees his name come across for the program, he intentionally blocks his ability to enter the program for a long time. And of course, there's some bad blood between the two of them, and Rooster doesn't understand. And, you know, Maverick is supposed to be this guy who, you know, just does things and doesn't think about the consequences. And that's sort of a tagline of the entire thing. Don't think about it, just do it. So anyway, it's a fun movie. There's some really cool cinematography things done with the planes, and I really am curious how they shot it. It was fascinating. It was fun. There were several times where I'm watching it and out loud I was like, "Holy cow, look at that thing. Whoa." You know, I could see how in a theater people get excited watching it too. This is one that it's fun to watch by yourself, but I think it'd be even more fun to watch with a group of people. Again, we talked about it earlier. Ed Harris makes an appearance in this. Great military looking fella. John Hamm, Charles Parnell, lots of guys just really playing the parts well. I mean, just a phenomenal cast. Monica Barbaro as Phoenix is awesome. Jennifer Connelly pops up in this. She's supposed to be the love interest. Um, yeah, it's great. You even get to see Val Kilmer with his neck cancer and everything. He actually speaks a little. I'm sure it was extremely hard. You know, he's been struggling with cancer in his throat for a long time, and it's a nice little moment between the two of them on screen. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. Listen, I kind of poo pooed on my mom there for being like, "You need to watch this. You need to watch this." You know, my automatic pushback is to go, "No, I don't need to watch it." Because I mean, it wasn't like I didn't like flock to the first movie. I wasn't like, "Oh my god, this movie is amazing." It was okay. I mean, for a lot of people, it struck a chord with them. With my first wife, I mean, that was one of her favorite movies, and then maybe because of Tom Cruise at the time and his, rise to stardom or whatever. Um, but I don't know. My ex, I think, weirdly thought of herself as the Meg Ryan character in the movie, and would like emulate lines from it once in a while. And I was like, this is giving me a cringe effect. Like, I was on board till you said that. Whatever. I know she was trying to be cool. It struck me as cringy. But whatever. So the movie, that's not the movie's fault. That's my fault. So I thought the movie was great though. This movie was fun. I like I like the sequel better than the first. How about that? I'm just gonna say it. I like the sequel better than the first. So there we go. I've had some people reach out to me or reach out through other people saying, "Tell Josh needs to watch this." And I'm watching this thing called Counterpart. It came out a while back. I don't know if I talked about this before, but it came out in 2017. J.K. Simmons is the main character, and it's pretty amazing so far. I've only seen a couple episodes, but it's pretty amazing. So, anyway, I'm just going to tease that a little bit. I'm also going to tease the fact that HBO has their House of Dragons coming out apparently tonight is the first episode. Looking at the cast right off the bat, you got Matt Smith listed top billing. For those who don't know, Matt Smith played Doctor Who. How about that? Some little Doctor Who knowledge for you. Yeah. He was also Prince Philip in Netflix's The Crown. Um, very good role. He's quite an amazing actor. He's been in Doctor. I said Doctor Who. I'm just looking at this IMDb here to try and pick out where else I've seen him in. Oh, Spider Man. That came out in 2002. Star Wars. He was in one of them. That's one of those things where you just sort of start compiling British actors to just be in Star Wars because you have so many parts to play. He's also in Terminator Genesis. Interesting. Interesting. I don't remember him in that. The Forgiven. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen lots of these movies actually. Pretty interesting. Some of these I have never seen. Superworm? What the heck is that? Anyway, I'm just kind of looking down his IMDb here. I like Matt Smith. I think this is going to be fun. Um, so yeah, I'm going to be checking that out. That'll be great. Yeah. Because if HBO, I mean, I'm sure they have to think about the fact that Game of Thrones is one of their most successful shows ever. I mean, it definitely tagged into the lexicon of the American public in a way that no other show had for them. So, this being a prequel show, they're going to have to spend a little time and money making sure that this is worthy of being in the same atmosphere as Game of Thrones. And, rarely do they miss. So I think this is going to be right on par with everything that we are hoping for. I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch. It's definitely going to be fun to watch. This is apparently going to be more about the um, the original Targaryen family, I guess you'd say. Um, this is going to be more about their rise to power. They're controlling the dragons. On Google here, it says the story of the Targaryen civil war that took place about 200 years before the events portrayed in Game of Thrones. So yeah, gonna be pretty amazing. It's gonna be pretty amazing. Yes, it's gonna be pretty amazing. All right. So, anywho, how far have I been talking now? I can't even see the little counter. Where is it? Oh, that's about 20 minutes. That's fine. That's fine. I do want to talk a little bit about this past week. Um, I got off work one day and got a random text message from my friend Danny Shaw and said, "Hey, what are you up to? You awake? You sleep? You working third shift? What's up?" I said, "No, I just got off work, heading home. Not much planned." He said, "You mind swinging by my place and help me out real quick?" I was like, "Sure." I said, "What you need?" He said, "Well, I got this, thing with my tire on my spare tire and this rim, and I had this thing changed. I need a new one put on, and I gotta figure out how to get this on here. And it's more than a one man job." He said, "I got it might take three of us." He said, "I got my buddy Mike Montrose coming over to help us too." I was like, "All right." So I swung by, and the three of us are not small guys, and we fought with that thing for about 2 straight hours. And I mean, we sweated so much we made jokes about the fact that, is it raining here? Look at all the water everywhere, because we were sweating bad. Could not get it. Could not get it at all. And I shot a little video. I put it up on YouTube. And basically, it was just with the tagline of sometimes you just help your friends even if you don't succeed, because you don't know. I mean, we could have pulled it off, but either way, it's nice to have friends that you can call and say, "Hey, I need a hand with something," and they show up. So Danny has showed up for me countless times, and I figured it was the least I could do. And we had fun trying to do it, and it was unfortunate we couldn't, but we kind of figured out, okay, this is going to take a piece of machinery that we don't have. And so we were able to, through talking to each other, Mike had a comment about someone he knew that could do it. And so, Danny took it to the guy the next day, and he was able to do it within 15 minutes. So, yeah, sometimes it helps to have the right tool. And then I worked Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was off Thursday, but I went Thursday down to my wife's father's place. Sammy passed away in April, and we needed to do some additional cleaning up and do some yard work. My Her brother Jamie met me down there. He was off also, and so I got down there about 8 o'clock in the morning. I left here super early when it was dark, and I got started trying to just take a load of garbage to the dump that was there, and load it at the back of my truck. When I got back, I tried to start the lawnmower. The lawnmower wouldn't start. I was kind of freaking out a little bit, thinking, "Oh, geez, this grass is pretty high. It's gonna be bad if we can't cut the grass." And the last time I was there, we cut the grass, but the belt kept throwing off, and I wasn't sure if it was because of the tensioner string, the spring underneath, or if it was because the belt itself was wore out. And I felt of the belt, and it felt kind of wore out. It felt like it had popped off a few times, and it had sort of gotten bit a couple places where it come off a pulley and just happened to take rubber with it. And so, I was thinking to myself, okay, we can try to get this thing to crank, and then if we get it to crank, maybe we can mow a little while. And at some point here, we may have to go get a belt. And it is a Thursday, so there should be places open. Walterboro's about 30 minutes away from here, so if we have to go there, we can do that. So that was kind of the mentality. And Jamie showed up, and he immediately got the lawnmower going within no time at all. He's just got a knack for things like that. And so he started cutting grass while I continued to empty out the house. Um, we had already taken a bunch of stuff off. And so this trip was just stuff like couch, table, chairs, you know, chair, dining room set, um, the bed that was in the spare bedroom, and a few pieces of little furniture things here and there, and some garbage in general. So, about 3 loads in the back of the truck. Nothing was heavy. It was just awkward shaped. And so I was able to back right up to the steps and then just sort of flip it out into the back of the truck. It's pretty easy. And the dump's not far. So about 10 miles or so. But it's, it's doable. So anyway, we got the house emptied. We got the grass cut. At a certain point, the belt threw off and we couldn't get it to stay on. So we called around. We found a place that had a belt, and I drove to go get a belt. While I was out, I grabbed us a few things to eat, and we got back. We ate. We put the belt on, and was able to start kicking butt cutting grass. Now we'd gotten a little behind with the delay of trying to find a belt, and while I was doing that, Jamie had started to move over piles of stuff for a salvage group to come pick it up. Apparently they won't come pick it up if it's just around. You got to put it in one spot. So we were compiling all of the stuff and putting it in one spot. And once we got back and got the belt on and made sure it ran fine, he found a mower that was going to work, but it just needed to be jump started because the battery was dead. And we figured out how to jump start it. We found some jumper cables and we jumped it off. And next thing you know, he's mowing in one direction, I'm mowing in the other, and we used that mower until that mower completely died because it apparently not only had a battery problem, it had something else wrong with it. But it cut grass for a while, and then it just finally was like, nah, I'm done. And it just stopped. So we pushed it to the side and continued mowing and weed eating. And the two of us had weed eaters, and we both weed eated like crazy until it was all done. And, at about 3-ish, I want to say, it started raining pretty hard, and it just got harder and harder and harder. And so I called it a day. Jamie said he was going to stay and work a little while. And so, it was a day. Now, here's the thing I want to say about all that. Everything's easier with help. Everything. Okay? And no matter what you're going through, sometimes the best thing you can do is just ask for help. Through every one of these scenarios that I've described, it would have been hard to do by yourself. We're not meant to do life by ourselves. We're meant to help each other. So sometimes you're successful in helping people. Sometimes you're not. But the best thing you can do is just be there. Okay? That's it. That's my tagline for the day. Offer to help. Show up. Be present. And then if it doesn't work out, hey, at least you tried. Right? It's like Thomas Edison said, I didn't learn how to make a light bulb. I learned 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. So there you go. All right, that's it. I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're listening to wherever you're at, I appreciate you. Yeah. So y'all take care. And please remember, if you haven't, rate, review, subscribe, share this with your friends. And as always,
so I want you guys to give me more likes. Give me more likes.